Welcome to Bryer CD Showcase. I'm Parsons, and in this video we're doing a bonus haul. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, bonus haul? What does that mean? Well, I'll explain really quickly. So basically, if you saw my last CD haul video, I mentioned that I was not going to buy any CDs throughout the month of August. And so let's go ahead, let's play that clip real quick. In August, I won't be doing a CD haul video because starting on August 1st, I will not buy any CDs, but who knows, it's still July, so I might get more CDs before August. So I did buy some CDs during that time. I got paid, so I might as well take advantage of it. You know, just have one more fix before I go completely cold turkey this month. So I did buy these in July, so therefore I did not contradict myself. And I'm going to go through these and just give my initial thoughts on all of them. I did get a chance to listen to all of these at least once, so these are kind of just my initial thoughts. And one person actually left a comment asking if I could do like individual album reviews and kind of go more in depth on some of these, and you know, I might consider that. So I'm blanking on who actually said that. I'll put your name in the on the screen so that person knows I am considering that idea. So whoever left that comment, thank you very much. So let's go ahead, let's get through this. I'm going to try to get through this in one take, so there's less editing involved. So the first one I'm going to talk about, like I mentioned in my last haul, I am starting to get into Midnight Oil recently, and this is another album that people have kind of directed me towards, and this one's called Blue Sky Mining. So this is what it looks like. It's actually done on this nice little mini LP sleeve. It's actually, I think it's done pretty faithfully. I don't know what the vinyl was, but I'm assuming this is how it would look like. So you actually take it out, you have it, your inner sleeve with all the lyrics, very small lyrics, and even the CD, if I take out, is like a little replica of a vinyl. So you see, and even the back is all black. Pretty cool little attention to detail there. So my thoughts on the album, I really enjoy this one. Honestly, this might, I think compared to the other two I have, which is Diesel and Dust and 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1, comparing this one to those, this is probably my least favorite, but that being said, it's still a really good album. There's still some great songs. Really good, decent follow-up to Diesel and Dust. So title track's great. Forgotten Years. It's really hard to read this. One Country, Shakers and Miners. So yeah, very good album. Definitely will be listening to this a few more times. And I do like the album cover. I think the album cover is pretty cool. Alright, so that's Midnight Oil, Blue Sky Mining. Alright, next, I actually bought another Beach Boys album. So now I have three, which is funny because I have Pet Sounds, which is their best, and I also had Summer in Paradise, which is their worst. By the way, there's a video where I unboxed it on camera. Summer in Paradise I'm talking about. So if you go check that out, that's actually a fun video to do. But I decided to redeem myself and actually buy a good Beach Boys album, and I got Here Surf's Up. And by the way, just really cool album cover. So I did do research on it, and it's basically a depiction of the Trail of Tears, which is actually pretty cool. Really good juxtaposition of what we know of the Beach Boys, which is always summer, surfing, cars, all sort of stuff. So it's pretty interesting that they went with a more darker approach. And you do kind of get that darker feel throughout the album. So this was released in 1971. This is definitely when their popularity was definitely not where it used to be, we'll put it lightly. And this is also kind of where Brian Wilson was really starting to become reclusive. Wasn't really so much there. He did contribute some songs here, but they're kind of more like, they're more like taking what he did during the Smile sessions and just incorporated them here. And from after I listened to this album, I am very impressed by this because I knew none of the songs going into this. But yeah, there's only 10 songs, and for the most part, they're actually pretty good. I really enjoyed this one. The first track, Don't Go Near the Bar, is great. Long Promised Road, which is a great one by Carl Wilson, and it's actually this album here is where he started to write some songs himself. Surprisingly, it took him that long, but it's a really good song. Take Your Load Off Your Feet, it's okay. I think that was one of my least favorite songs, but I still enjoyed it. Disney Girls, which was written by Bruce Johnston or Johnston. I hope I said that right. But yeah, he contributes to, and it's actually a pretty good song with Disney Girls, 1947 specifically. Student Demonstration Time. I hear some people say that's their least favorite song on here, and I kind of get it. It's kind of them trying to do like a protest song, and many people think it's ingenuous. Of course, it's by Mike Love, so you know, it's whatever. Feel Flow is pretty good. Looking at Tomorrow, it's all right. Then the last three songs are actually really good. We have A Day in the Life of a Tree, Till I Die, and the title track, which is a great closing track. That one was mainly done by Brian. So yeah, I really did enjoy this one. This is a great one. So if you are not familiar with that, like the late 60s to early 70s Beach Boys, I think you should check this out. There's actually some great material on here. All right, next we have Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Now, Simon and Garfunkel is a duo I've been meaning to get into for a while, and I decided to go ahead and get it. And I really enjoyed this album very much as well. Funny enough, Jason Neal Millennial did a video recently where he talked about some of his recent CDs he purchased, and this was one of them, so kind of funny. But regardless, so there's 8 songs, actually there's 11 songs, but there's 2 bonus tracks. So going into this, I only knew the title track. That's probably the only song I knew from this album. Everything else was pretty new. But yeah, again, some great songs. I mean, with Simon and Garfunkel, you kind of expect some great harmonies, and they definitely do deliver. El Condor Pasa, If I Could, it's a great song. Cecilia, it's great. Keeping the customer Satisfied. The Boxer, which at first I was kind of, because people always was kind of hyping that song up, and at first I was kind of like, okay, it's good, I like it. But definitely when I went more in depth into it, I looked at the lyrics and listened to it a few more times. I do understand why it's considered one of Paul's greatest songs he wrote. So I definitely get that. I will say there are a couple songs that I did not personally care for. I think the last 2 songs are fine, but definitely not my favorite songs on here. But overall, this is still a terrific album. It definitely does deserve the stature it gets. Some people say it's their best. I'm not sure. I still need to listen to the others, but I'm very very happy with this one. So good job to Simon Garfunkel for impressing me. All right. Anyway, next. So this is actually kind of different. We're going to the 90s now, and this is by the Smashing Pumpkins. So the Smashing Pumpkins were a group I hear about every so often. The only times I hear about them is I usually hear about Billy Corgan. I hear he's not like an easy person to work with. At least that's what I hear. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but I decided really to kind of check out the music, and I didn't know which album to go into. This seems to be the one that most people consider as one of their best ones. This one's called Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's a pretty cool album cover, and the back's also pretty nice. So this is a 2 CD pack here. So I'll show the CDs on this one. So they have like a cool design to each one of them. It's pretty cool. So this is a long album, a very long album. There's 14 songs on each disc, and they're kind of for the most part. Majority of them are typical 4 minutes to 5 minute songs. So it's definitely a long album to sit through. But overall, I was pretty impressed by them. I have no idea what to expect, but I was actually pretty impressed. It took me a bit to get used to Billy Corgan's vocals. Definitely not not my favorite type of vocal style, but I think over time I got used to it, and it does fit this what they're going for. Yeah, I could name some of my favorite songs, but there's quite a lot in here. So I know it had some big hits, like 1979 was a pretty well-known song on here. Zero, I think Zero was one. I could be wrong on that. See, and yeah, just looking, yeah, but overall, still really great album. So again, if there's any Smashing Pumpkin fans out there, let me know if what other albums that I should go next, because yeah, I'm very impressed by this one. Okay, we got more Beatles. I did Let It Be in the last haul, but this time I went and bought Rubber Soul. Okay, this is kind of when they were just beginning to do more experimentation in the studio, and you can definitely hear it, and especially in the songwriting, it seems to be slightly more mature than previous albums. But yeah, this is a great album. Obviously, I did hear this album already because, Spotify, but I never had a physical copy, so I wanted to go ahead and get this one. Yep, it's great. I mean, what's there to say on this one? It's a classic one. It's probably, I'm not sure where it would rank in terms of the Beatles catalog, but it's definitely be somewhere in the higher side. I will say that there are a couple songs that I wasn't really crazy for. I'd say the last two songs kind of don't really interest me as well. Of course, Run For Your Life is definitely not a song that has aged well. But it was John Lennon. He was kind of being honest on that one. But it's fine. It's all right. Well, so yeah, Rubber Soul by the Beatles. Sticking with the 60s, we have The Doors, Strange Days. It's actually a pretty cool case here. This is actually the first CD I have now which has this design. So yeah, pretty cool. I do like the curved edges. That makes this one pretty unique. So this is their second album, just released the same year as their debut. And I think it's pretty good. Not as good as the debut, but there's still some great songs on here. Of course I knew some of the big hits on here, like Love Me Two Times and People Are Strange. But the other songs are fantastic as well. The title track, Unhappy Girl, My Eyes Have Seen You, and of course it finishes off with the 11-minute epic when the music's over. So again, very good. Definitely I'm trying to get more Doors in my collection, but similar with the Beatles, their albums tend to be more on the pricey side, but baby steps. Alright, we have Chicago as well, and this is their debut. This is when they were called the Chicago Transit Authority. That's what it looks like. So there's 12 songs, and this was originally a double album. Pretty ambitious for a new band to release a double album. You can tell they were probably very confident with themselves, and for good reasons, because the music in here is fantastic, very jazzy, has great rock as well. But yeah, this is some great stuff. I'm definitely gonna get more Chicago, primarily the early period. I'm not sure if I'll get any of the 80s albums, because I know that those are pretty divisive, and I have a greatest hits already, so they have pretty much all the big 80s hits on that collection, so probably don't need to. But for the early period, I definitely will be getting the album, so great stuff here. Okay, Kiss. I got more Kiss. We have Destroyer. I have the shirt, so I gotta get the album. So yeah, this is another one I heard on Spotify prior, and I definitely enjoy this one. I think I personally prefer the debut, because that's the only other studio album I have. But yeah, I think I prefer the debut than this one, but there's still some pretty well-known songs here, like of course Detroit Rock City and God of Thunder, and of course Beth, was another big hit sung by Peter Criss. But yeah, I like this one a lot. And of course, the album cover is pretty iconic as well. I know there was like a remix version of this. It was destroyed, resurrected, I believe. But I decided to go with this one because, for one, it was cheaper, and two, I don't really mind. I think I want to have that original mix because I kind of want to stay original, but and it still sounds pretty good. So yeah, definitely am always welcome to have more gifts in the collection. All right, next. All right, so story about this one. So one person that I watched his name's Adam, and his channel's called What the Gym, and he recently did a live stream where he actually listened to this whole album in full for the first time. And that album, of course, is Flaming Pie by Paul McCartney. So this was 1997 this was released. So Adam did the live stream. It was actually my first time listening to the whole album in full, and I was really impressed how it sounded. So I just wanted to go out and get it right away because it was actually on my list for a while because I heard great things about this one. So I went out and bought it, and the packaging is really cool as well. So you can see the CDs here, what they look like, and even the booklets kind of attached to the case, which is pretty cool idea. And of course, he has some pictures of Paul there. All right, so this is part of his archive collection. So I went and bought it, and luckily I got overnight shipping on this. And yeah, it's a great album. I definitely need to get more Paul McCartney solo albums here, but this is definitely a good one to get. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Great songs on here, and I know Ringo is on here. It's co-produced with Jeff Lynne, and you can obviously tell by the drum sound. And even Steve Miller is on here as well. And this is actually also the last album to have Linda McCartney featured before she died. So I definitely is worth listening. So yeah, Flaming Pie by Paul McCartney. All right, so these next four, I actually literally on the 31st, so literally on the last day of July, I went to my local thrift store, my local Salvation Army, and they have some CDs there, and I decided to check out what they got, and I actually got a few picks. So the first one I'll go is this one. So we have Ace of Base, The Sign. You might know, but of course probably know the title track maybe. So, but yeah, that was the only song I knew. I just got this because I was kind of curious what else they did and wanted to hear. And honestly, I think of all the CDs here, this is definitely my least favorite. Not even the title track could save it. But yeah, everything else it's okay. But it's like your 90s Swedish pop music, and yeah, I don't think this is my cup of tea personally. But yeah, it's all right. Definitely, yeah. But like I said, not my favorite here. And of course, if you're a fan of this band, it's nothing personal. It's just not my cup of tea. I'll still keep this, but I probably won't be playing this one very often. However, this one I might, probably. So in the last haul, I got Tracy Chapman, and I had her second album, which was Crossroads, which I enjoyed. And some people actually recommended her debut, and funny enough, that Salvation Army had it. And this is it. This is her self-titled debut. And yeah, I think this is definitely better than the second one. Not to say I don't like the second album so much now. I still enjoy it, but I think this is definitely a much stronger album as a whole. It's definitely some more memorable songs here. Talking about a revolution, fast car, behind the wall, why, baby I can hold you. Yeah, so great songs and great first album. I really do love her vocals here, and it's very folky, bit of a country edge to it, but she does a great job at it. So really good album. So again, let me know if there's other albums I should check out. And I also found this is Pat Benatar, Live from Earth. This is her first, I think this was her first live album, but that's not really the reason why I got this, to be honest. So this actually includes 2 new studio tracks, and those, of course, is Love is a Battlefield, which I knew and I love that song, so I wanted to, that's pretty much the main reason why I got this. But it also includes Lipstick Slides, which is pretty good as well. But really, I got this solely because of Love is a Battlefield. And the live album sounds pretty good as well. A lot of the songs were recorded in different places, but still sounds pretty good. And Pat sounds great, of course. And so yeah, I like it. Good find. And the last one I found was Alan Parsons' project, Eye in the Sky. I've definitely heard of Alan Parsons. Of course, he was the engineer of Dark Side of the Moon. And you do kind of hear a little bit of Pink Floyd influences in this. But, of course, it's production-wise, it sounds great. Definitely eye-catching album cover. I'll stop. But yeah, I was actually surprised because it starts off with Sirius and Eye in the Sky, which kind of they flow into each other. And I heard the keyboard riff and I was like, holy shit, I actually do know that. I have heard that somewhere. Not so much Eye in the Sky, but Sirius was definitely the one I recognized because I recognized that keyboard riff. So that was pretty cool. And all the other songs here on this album are actually very good. So very happy with this one. Very good. Probably my favorite of the ones I found at that Salvation Army. So I already mentioned Eye in the Sky. Children of the Moon. Gemini is okay. Wasn't crazy for that one. Silence and I. You're gonna get your finger burned. Step by Step. Old and Wise. But yeah, great album. Really enjoy this one. Again, comment below what others Alan Parsons projects are worth checking out. Alright, and this is the last one. And I made this one the last one because this actually was the more recent one. So this is an album. So this was actually suggested to me in one of my CD hauls like a few months ago, actually. And this person said, hey, I think you might enjoy this band. So I went out and bought it. I had to buy it off their official website. So I had to wait a while for it to come because this band's from New Zealand, and I'm assuming it had to ship here from New Zealand. So that's why it took a while, but I eventually did get it. So the band's called Like a Storm, and this is their latest album called Okura. I hope that's right. So here it is. I'll show the back cover. It's just like I guess it's like a band shot there. So this band is kind of in the realm of post-grunge, alternative metal, and a bit of hard rock as well. But what kind of sets them, I guess what sets them apart is that they use a didgeridoo in their sound, in their music. If you don't know what a didgeridoo is, I'll play like a little small clip of someone playing it. So yeah, you definitely hear the didgeridoo throughout the album, and sounds pretty good. I think it fits the overall tone that they're going for. But yeah, overall, I quite enjoyed this one. Actually, I didn't know what to expect, but it actually sounds pretty good. There's some good riffs on here, and the vocals sound pretty good. I definitely need to listen to this more because, again, as of now, I've only listened to this once, and it came yesterday. So I've definitely, it's still pretty fresh, but I am liking this so far. So if there are any other Like a Storm fans out there, and let me know if there's other albums by them. I'm pretty sure they haven't released that many yet, so can't be that hard to choose. But yeah, very impressed with this one. So again, it's Like a Storm with their latest album Okura. So there you have it. That's all the CDs that I have purchased throughout the final week of July. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on all these. And of course, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed this one. Like I said, there's going to be no CD haul for the month of August because I am going to be taking a break from buying CDs. Just want to catch up. Want to go back and re-listen to some of the stuff I already have. So that should be fun. And look forward to my updated CD collection series hopefully coming sometime this week. So that should be fun to do. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye for now.